Hi. Assuming you're a performing singer-songwriter or you're in a band, you basically have one supreme goal: to make enough money with your music to support yourself, or even better, to live like a rock star. But the sooner you come to grips with the way things are, as opposed to the way things used to be in the music business or the way you think they ought to be, the sooner you can get down to the work it will take to make your supreme goal a reality. In the music business, in the new music business, just like in the old music business, easy for me to say, uh, you're the creator of a product. And once you've created some music and you have some recordings you're satisfied with, you must reach the ears of an audience that will compensate you. The responsibility of getting your music discovered by fans and industry professionals rests more squarely on your shoulders than it ever has in the past. There are several ways to create an income stream, but in the end, it all comes back to an audience hearing your music and you getting paid for that. And no one is more interested in your music being discovered than you are. So you have to grab the bull by the horns to make it happen. When you think about it, you realize that this is the way it is for any product or service. Okay, so companies often spend far more money generating awareness, marketing, and selling their products than they spend making their products. And your music is no different. You have to accept that, and you have to get on with it and not complain that you're not getting anywhere while you're just sort of waiting for things to happen. Every day you have to be pushing this forward. And even with today's modern tools for musicians that we'll talk about, it can still require a lot of work to stand out. And if you're not willing to put in that work yourself, then the first thing you need to do is find a manager who is, because you can't escape you can't escape the need for this work to happen on your behalf. You either have to do it or someone has to do it for you. So, sure, you can hope your music goes viral and suddenly everyone knows about you and it didn't cost you anything. But, sort of like, good luck with that strategy. I've stumbled upon some really awesome music that deserves to be ubiquitous, but it's buried deep within YouTube. Blowing up virally works for far fewer than 1 in a million. You can hope it happens, but hope isn't a strategy. And having a good plan and executing that plan works far more often. And most people who've made it in any profession followed that strategy. So, one of the first services you should probably pay for is acquiring a service that helps you acquire fans. You should be acquiring fans first and foremost. The only reason you should do it exclusively the old-fashioned way, that is, playing gigs to as many full rooms as you can, is that you have no other options. And you only have no other options if you don't have any halfway decent recordings. Because if you have some recorded music, your options increase exponentially. You don't have to rely just on playing gigs. You have recorded music and you can reach so many of your potential fans online now. Doing so isn't free, and you need to understand that. And I know sometimes it feels free, but I don't care if you spend all day on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and on the new MySpace, chatting people up and getting them to listen to your music. Time is money. And while you pound the digital pavement, you have to pay your rent and you have to feed yourself. So it only feels free, but it's really costly if you add up all the time you spend doing it, plus the time you didn't spend doing other things, making music or being with your family or working a job. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be active on social media. You should. It's great for managing an already acquired fan base. But it's no longer the most efficient and least costly way of building one. Now, I'm not saying, and please don't buy ghost Twitter followers, don't buy fake YouTube views, don't buy Facebook likes, don't waste your time creating the perception of traction. Spend your time and money creating real traction with real fans. We live in an attention economy, and what that means is no one's going to pay you money until they first pay attention. So legitimate companies are emerging with great services that essentially guarantee that potential fans will hear your music. Okay? Then if they love it, they let the chips fall where they may. If they love the music and those fans decide that they want to be your direct fan, you get their contact information and presto, a relationship is established. Now, I'm not saying it's the same kind of a relationship that you would have if you were out there shaking hands and meeting people face to face at gigs, but it is a bit of a numbers game. If you imagine how long it would take you to play local gigs to eventually play in front of 10,000 unique people to acquire maybe 1,000 true fans from those people. Now, an online service can expose you to 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 people, sometimes in a few days, sometimes overnight, and deliver the fans' contact details to you. Now, you probably need quite a few casual fans to come up with 1,000 true fans, but there are plenty of artists who are living or who are making a living with 1,000 true fans. Get your 1,000 true fans at least. Learn how to monetize them. And if you aren't using the tools out there to get this done, you're not only working much harder than you have to, you're being outcompeted by artists and bands who understand these tools and are already using them. Okay? So the first thing you should pay for is pay for a service to help you get fans. Then you should pay to get deals. There are two kinds of deals that matter to you. Exposure deals that expose you and your music to a mass audience, and commercial deals that pay you money for your work, for a license to your music, or you get signed to a label or something like that. Deals can be both exposure deals and commercial deals at the same time, like having your song in an advertisement or signing to a label, licensing your song to film and television. I'm not saying you should get paid for those sorts of things, but notice that exposure deals are simply catalysts to reaching more potential fans than you could ever possibly do on your own or any other way. If your song plays on network primetime or in a video game like Call of Duty, it's worth more than you can imagine in saved time and money. Imagine the kind of time and money you'd have to spend to reach that audience on your own. Most artists who get deals are leveraging the exposure from those deals to further their career goals while they're also getting paid for it. But here's the thing. Since you don't know where all those deal opportunities are, you're kind of shooting in the dark because you don't know who's looking for music at any particular moment, and timing is everything, being at the right place at the right time with your music. And if you did know where those deal opportunities are, it would take you a long time to network your way in, follow up with people, and that takes a long time. And there are services out there that help you expedite the process. There's nothing wrong with paying for a service that saves you time or money or both. In fact, it's the smart thing to do. But in this particular space, you have to beware because the landscape is pretty full of sketchy companies and shysters who will rip you off if you aren't cautious. Your aspirations to get a deal, plus the closed nature of the music business, makes you a target for being scammed. So, you want to pay for these services only if they meet the following criteria. All right? 1, the company or the professional that you're paying is reputable with verifiable references that you can find online, and you can come up with a reasonable assurance that the person that you're dealing with is legitimate. Next, they should be able to point to verifiable and very recent success stories. All right, the music business is changing so fast, and even the professionals in the business who had successes, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, might not know how to replicate that success today. So make sure that you're working with someone who knows how the business works today. Also, you don't want them to take a cut of your deal or any rights to your work unless you go into that agreement with the understanding that they will upon deals that they get for you. If they're taking a cut of deals that they don't get for you, then that's more of a manager, someone who's helping you manage your career. But an agent or someone who's shopping your song for you shouldn't get exclusive rights to anything that happens with that song, unless you have some sort of pre-agreement where that's the idea, and you go into the agreement where they're going to get those deals for you. Okay, you're a professional with a product to sell. You should be treated professionally. You should have your questions answered, and you should easily understand the answers. If it feels like you're getting the runaround, you probably are. Okay, the next thing you should pay for is digital distribution. You can't get your music into iTunes and Spotify and Amazon and 100 other of those consumer outlets on your own with any efficiency. There are companies that do that for you for just a few bucks, and it's not expensive. You should just pay them. Your music needs to be where all of your fans and potential fans are already consuming your music, are already consuming their music. They need to be able to find your music in the same place that they go for all their other music. Next, You want to pay a company or someone to help you build an awesome online presence. There are companies online that specialize in building band websites that know all the gadgets and gizmos and tricks that make a really good artist website. Unless you're a good web designer or developer, you should pay someone to do this for you. You should have your own site where you control your image and your messaging. You should update it frequently, scroll your tweets from your home page, show fans ways they can engage with you, be creative. Maybe you run contests for live in-home performances. You just have to engage your audience from your site. As you're acquiring an artist, you need to bring them there and help develop that relationship, get them to get to know you. And that website is basically your representation online. Next, you should pay for the use of tools to help you manage your fan base. Once you have a fan base, you need to be staying in touch. You need a mass email service. You need to let your fans know where you're going to be playing. You need to sell them some t-shirts or other cool items and enable them to feel connected and part of the exclusive club that is your fan base. Don't try to mass email your fans from your desktop email program or your Gmail or your Outlook or anything like that. Oftentimes, once you get over 100 recipients on one of those emails, they start going into people's spam folders, and it's bad practice to CC everybody on your fan list and be revealing everybody else's email address to each other. You know what I'm talking about. The professional thing to do is a mass emailing service, something like MailChimp or Constant Contact or MadMimi. They're not very expensive, and they help you build beautiful emails. They really help you maintain your image, and you can use design elements that you're using on your website. It's the great thing to do. Next, you should pay to get better. We live in a connected world now, and there are ways to get in touch with almost anybody. And a lot of the people out there that are veterans in the music business are eager and excited to give back to new emerging musicians. There's almost no one in any profession that can't learn more or can't hone their trade, can't be more effective. Even top athletes train every day with a trainer, so seek professionals in your field who have more experience, who've won a Grammy or two, who've worked with other top professionals, and get real feedback, critiques, and career coaching from them. It's not costly, and there are companies that facilitate these kinds of contacts for you. Okay, so in conclusion, the important thing to understand is a lot of the services that are available out there that you're now expected to pay for weren't even options. They weren't even things that musicians could pay for in the past. These things were controlled by the record companies, and these services that distributed your music all over the place. Digital retail didn't exist, so you had to have real infrastructure and trucks that took CDs all over the nation. And distribution channels were controlled by big corporate conglomerates that controlled all of these relationships with the big retailers. But now these services exist, and musicians and artists are using these services to advance their careers. And if you're not using them, like I said earlier, you're just going to be outcompeted. So it's never been easier for an artist with good music to make a living, but that responsibility for making it happen has never rested so squarely on the shoulders of the artists themselves as it does now. So I think the healthy thing to do is, instead of lamenting about all the things you must do to become successful, in addition to making great music, you just have to rejoice that your destiny can now be in your own hands. You don't have to wait around and hope to be discovered. Hope was never a good strategy, not even in the old music business either. Devise a good plan, spend some time executing it every day. Every day that you don't, you're just delaying your success. And don't hesitate to pay for services that advance your career and that save you time and money. All right, I hope you found this helpful, and I'll be back here and speak with you again shortly. Thanks.